Hi everyone, my name is Kristen McKiernan and I am president here at AccuZip. I would like to thank you for joining us today for our Bulk Living Print webinar. This is the second webinar that we've done on this new service offering. So in case you missed the last one, thank you for coming to this one. If you went to the last one and just wanted a refresher, thanks for coming again. We do have a few people still arriving. I'm going to go over just some housekeeping kind of logistic webinar items, and then I'm going to turn the floor over to Steve and Brock Belmonte. So all attendees are in listen only mode. We do have a chat feature. If you want to ask questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to do that. Do know though that we will try to allot some time for the end of the webinar for a Q&A session. So we can do it then as well. And at that time, I'll go ahead and unmute anybody who has some questions, or you can also use the raise your hand feature. So if you raise your hand, I can unmute you during that Q&A process as well. We will have some poll questions. We have 5 poll questions throughout the webinar. Make sure you're awake and answering those poll questions so we can kind of just keep you engaged and feel our audience out as we're going through it. There are also some handouts for this particular webinar. So if you look in your GoToWebinar panel, there's some handouts. One of them is a sample flyer that will be being discussed. It's a sample marketing flyer that will allow you to learn the steps that you need to market this service to your customers. And then there's also 3 different samples of living print, bulk living print postcards themselves. There's one on an Airbnb, one for a pizza restaurant, and one for real estate. So you can go ahead and download those as handouts. If you have any questions or have any issues, you can go ahead and email. I'll actually have you just email me direct. Actually, I believe I'm gonna have you send it to the Living Mail, help@livingmail.com. If you have any questions regarding the webinar or need the handouts, you weren't able to get them from the GoToWebinar platform, anything like that, we'll be checking that inbox for those particular questions. So with that said, I'm going to do a quick sound check with our 2 presenters today. So Steve and Brock, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and just do a quick sound check so that we can hear you both, make sure we can hear you both. Then we'll get started with our first poll question, which I will launch, and then I'll hand it over to Brock, who can take it away.
This is Steve with AccuZip.
Excellent.
And this is Brock.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and launch our first poll question before we get started. Okay, so our first poll question, which you should see on here, says, have you heard of Living Print? Okay, perfect. So the poll is in progress. Give you a few more seconds. Okay, thank you very much to everybody who voted. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I'm going to go ahead and share the results. So this is great. So 73% of you have not heard of Living Print. 27% have, so that's excellent. Maybe you've heard of it in the regular form with Living Mail, perhaps not in the bulk form or the bulk way that we're going to be presenting it today. So this is a perfect webinar for this audience. So thank you so much for taking the time to answer that. I'm going to go ahead and close this poll. And with that, I'm going to mute myself, and Brock, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. So yeah, this webinar is just kind of go over the bulk process as it is today, teach you how to use it and how your customers can use it to better utilize postcards to your business, not be stuck with those static ones, instead create this dynamic content. So I wanted to start off with just what is Living Print here. It's a groundbreaking advanced technology that took many years to create. It is now an app available on both Android and iOS. We've created an intuitive interface that we put a lot of thought into to make it very easy to use. It's a novel technology that allows you to create that engaging emotional content, because you can actually have a slideshow that's going to create automatically in the app using photos and your videos, everything along those lines. And then you can design the entire layout within the app as well, and it'll handle everything for you automatically. Now, in terms of bulk living print, this is taking it a step further. So in the general app, you can create cards and send it to friends and family on little one-off occasions. For bulk living print, this is where you would come in as the print shops. So people are actually able to place orders on these cards and then have them sent out with you as they would with any other advertisement for their business, for a wedding invitation, for anything along those lines where you would normally do a standard bulk mailing with a static postcard. You can replace that with a living mail postcard and have this dynamic content, as you can see below, that can play on their device once they scan the QR code on the back. Now you might be wondering, should I offer this now or should I offer this a little bit later? We're advocating for now right now because it's something you can get on board early, ahead of the crowd. As of today, it is exclusive to AccuZip customers. We're planning on opening it up later in the year on December 1st, 2022. It's going to be opened up to everybody, but as of now, you have early access. You can get on board and start offering it to your customers and really get that customer base built up while you have these many months ahead of it opening up to the public.
Yes, and that's a good point, Brock. You know, I'm sure if you all know my story, I started in printing. I was actually a printer, mail service provider, like most people on this call, back in 1982. I know it's a long time, for 10 years. And with all of our businesses, what makes us successful is our individual niches, like what make, you know, the individual things that you provide to your customer that no other print shop provides. And this is a huge opportunity to get started early before we open it up to other customers that are not AccuZip exclusive customers. So you're going to learn more about the app, but keep listening. This is a great alternative to static postcards.
Awesome.
With that said, real quick, I'm going to actually launch into another poll to see what you guys are offering now. So in just a second, you'll see the poll open. Okay, do you offer personalized postcards to your customers? So please select one, either yes or no.
No, yeah. And then personalized postcards are not necessarily just the static text that changes, like for birth, like if you're sending out a postcard with someone's name and then putting in their age or something like that. You know, it's a lot more in depth, but I guess that would be minor personalization based on data points. You can go ahead and answer that way, where it's more than just the address, other variable content.
Okay, a few more seconds. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Okay, 75% of you are offering personalized postcards now, and 25% are not. So yeah, I guess it's a little bit more subjective about what we consider personalized and not. And Steve and Brock can tell you how to take even those personalized postcards to the next level.
Yeah. So in terms of getting started on the bulk process, step one is signing up to become a print provider on the service. So you would just go to onboarding.livingprint.com, fill out the form with all your information, and then welcome your customers to the future of direct mail. Once you fill out this form, you're actually going to get a PDF download, and that is going to give you all the instructions for your customers to place these orders so that they don't have any issues with that, and walk you through the entire process and give you some example cards as well. And then how do I promote this to my customers? So an email containing a professionally designed flyer with examples, instructions, and marketing material will be sent to that contact one on that form like I was referring to. So it's just going to be that flyer, that it's going to be that PDF download that you have available to you.
Right, and that'll have your address information, your contact information that we created, just like he's showing you here.
Yeah, so this is an example of what the flyer will be. It's some information about direct mail and postcards and what customers are looking to see. Like 86% of people want to see more video from brands. And then in that sample section where it says the print shop company name, address, city, state, zip, all of that information will be filled in based on that form data that you submitted. And that's what your customers are going to enter into the app when they're actually sending the cards in order for it to be a bulk order. That's how it'll get sent over to you.
And Kristen, correct me if I'm wrong, we can provide them with the artwork for this that they can utilize and plagiarize in your own brand colors, however you guys see fit. This is just something that we've made that you actually get once you onboard. You'll get this completely filled out for you, but you're more than welcome to create your own.
Absolutely. And this is one of the PDFs of the handouts. It's called the AccuZip Living Mail Flyer _ sample. So we can provide you the artwork, or you can grab this PDF and use it, like Steve said, however you would like to.
And most of you don't yet know what Living Mail is completely, but you're going to learn right now.
Yeah, so I wanted to take you through the steps to actually create one. So here's what your customers are going to do. So it's a pretty straightforward process. The first thing they're going to do is going to go ahead and head to the App Store, whatever it is, either the App Store on iOS or the Play Store on Android. They're going to go ahead and search up LivingPrint, and then they're going to download the app. That's what the icon will look like in the App Store. Next, you're going to create your Living Mail postcard in the app. It's a straightforward process that you get walked through within the app. You're just going to select your images, select your layout, background, music, and then go ahead and fill out the recipient information to the bulk provider and pay and send. So this is the recipient section where they'll actually add in that information for the print shop. And as long as it matches the address that you entered on the onboarding form, that'll go ahead and get sent over to you. And you can work with the customer from that point forward to get it done with a bulk job with a list. And then finally, step 4, just to kind of connect all the dots. Once your customer has actually placed their order and confirmed it, they can go ahead and take a screenshot and send that over to you. And that's how you'll be able to match up that PDF you receive in an email to the order the customer placed, and also know who placed that order so you can work with them from that point forward. So what happens next? So as soon as they've placed that order, it's going to go into our system and get processed. And the next business day, you're going to receive an email containing a link to that print-ready PDF that you can use. And then you can reach out to your customer who sent you over the screenshot, and then you can discuss all of your pricing and what sizes you offer and all the other customization features, as well as getting that mailing list put together. And over here on the right is a sample of what that email is going to look like when it comes through to you. So the 10 benefits of this service, just the first 10, basically you're going to be setting your business apart by offering these bulk living mail postcards. They're not just going to be those generic static postcards you're sending today. It's actually going to include that dynamic content. So it's going to have that slideshow with photos and videos and up to 5 minutes of content, so you can actually have calls to action. You can show people processes like how you're handling your printing, how you're making your pizzas at a pizza shop, all of that information, and really have them get emotionally involved with the business. You can increase your bottom line by offering more services to your customers, by bringing in new business and also converting existing business with an upsell. And currently, this is an exclusive benefit to AccuZip customer partners, again, until that December 1st cutoff. It's completely free to implement. There's no licensing costs to get on board. And it's basically a time for your customers to get away from those static postcards. They don't need to be sending those anymore with this dynamic content, because it just allows a lot more emotion and content into each individual piece. So they're getting a lot more bang for their buck and a higher conversion rate. And this allows you to send live video in the mail stream. Your customers can create these cards in just minutes instead of having to go through a lengthy design process. You can keep your customers coming back with these bulk living prints. And there's no added work on your side, and there should be no changes to your existing workflow. This is just another way to actually create that initial artwork. So let's go through the creation process of an actual card here. So first thing you're going to do is go ahead and choose the postcard and then the size. Next, you're going to pick your photos and videos from your photo gallery. Then you're going to pick a layout. This is going to be how your photos are all laid out on the page, and some of these are actually going to be overlapping, you might notice. And that's good because it actually entices your customers to scan that QR code instead of just looking at that postcard like you're used to when you're limited to just those 2 or 3 pictures. It intrigues them. It's like, hey, what's hidden behind that last picture? Then we can select a background to go behind all of your pictures. We have a very large collection here, and you can choose from any of these categories above. Add some music in, because music really adds that emotional effect in, keeps that slideshow, keeps people engaged. And then you can actually crop and reorder your assets in this screen. So this is where the section of the photo you actually want to show based on the aspect ratio, both on the card and in the slideshow, give your users a better experience. Here's where you can let them know who it's actually from. And this is where you can also add in up to 240 characters of marketing material. You can add in your recipients. So if you want to send it to a one-off person, or if you want to send it to that bulk print shop, you can go ahead and add them in on this stage. Then here you can actually review your order. It'll finish uploading, and then you can pay for it and go ahead and send that out. Congratulations, you've successfully created a living print.
Now the beauty is when you mail that bulk with all of your, like you normally do today, when the customer receives it, they'll use their cell phone, and what they point it to the image of the postcard, it'll lift the image off and begin playing the slideshow. So where a postcard, a 6x9 postcard or whatever you're printing on is limited to content, now you can put up to 5 minutes of content, a commercial in essence, that would appear on your phone with emotion, with that music and transitions, and go more in depth about a business. And this is a very it's a big opportunity because it's exclusive to our AccuZip customers. Kristen, go ahead with this poll. I think this is applicable at this point.
Okay, yes. So the next poll question is, do you feel comfortable taking photos and video with your mobile device? Okay, we have 59% voted. And Mary, I do see your hand raised. When we get to the end, we'll definitely take questions. If you want to put it in chat, if it's something that you want answered right away, let me know. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised with these results.
Nice. So this goes right about what we've been talking about for years. Obviously phones are, if you go into a restaurant, people eating dinner, they normally have their fork in one hand and their phone in the other hand. So people are very comfortable with using their phone to take photos and videos. So think about it. This is a new revenue stream for you. So when your customer comes into your office, right, and they want to create a new postcard, you could literally send anyone from your team out to their facility and say, you just go about your day and you work, and I'll take pictures and video of, let's say, them making a pizza, putting it in the oven, delivering it to the table, having someone eat it, and then taking photos of a variety of their different pizzas that they've made throughout the day. And then you can sit down with them at the end of the day or in a few hours or however long you want to spend with them, and you can go ahead and select the videos and photos and make the living mail on site. So you've done all the typesetting, and all of that creation is being done throughout the app. And then you can preview what the consumer would see when you did the bulk mailing right there live. And then you would mail it to yourself. And then you would have the artwork ready to bulk print. If you already have existing static postcards that you're using today, this could simply create a QR code for you that you could then apply to one of the postcards that you've created for your customer already. And then when the consumer receives it and they scan the QR code, it would still show that living mail video and slideshow. So you could charge your customer a fee for going out and doing the shoot with your cell phone. So you go out with your cell phone that you feel comfortable using and do your shoot with them for maybe an hour, charge them for an hour or two of your time. And so it's a new way to make additional revenue, along with giving them their customer a much better experience about their business.
Definitely. And we're planning on constantly improving this service. These are some testimonials we've already gotten from some people on about how much they love it. And we're going to be adding in a high resolution version of the PDF. So if you'd like to send a larger piece out and not be restrained to that 4.25 by 6 size, you're going to be able to do that with the higher resolution asset. We're adding that in very soon. Also, we're going to include that compressed version in case you do want to send out that 4.25 by 6 size that we're currently supporting. And finally, that QR code asset is going to be a separate option, just like he was saying. If you want to stick with your designs you have today and you want to custom typeset those pieces and just add in that custom-made QR code that's going to play that slideshow, that'll all be possible very soon.
And to make sure that we're not losing anyone as of yet, let's go ahead. Actually, Brock, how many more slides do you have? I was going to ask is it making sense poll, or would you like me to wait?
No, you can go ahead and go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that, and then we can even take some questions as well. Make sure you guys are all still there. All right. So is this living mail technology making sense to you so far? Okay, 25% voted, increasing. Okay.
So remember this.
Oh, I'm going to go ahead, Steve.
This technology is absolutely free. So in other words, you're not paying for views. You're not paying for the fact that we're creating it all internally and providing you the artwork. There's no replication fees. There's zero licensing fees. So this is a great opportunity to basically upscale what you're doing today with your postcards. And since it's exclusive to AccuZip users, no other companies have access to it until December.
Okay, so this is great. So we have 82% saying yes, and 18% saying no. So that's good. So I think we'd like to address the 18% saying that it's not making sense, because we absolutely want 100% of you to understand what it is. We do have one question in the pane, and I'll pose the question, and Steve or Brock, you can answer it. If you have other questions, again, put them in chat or raise your hand, and right now is a perfect time to address them, so we don't go on without something that you're not understanding. So this question is, did you say we have to use a standard size piece?
So as of today, we offer the 4.25 by 6 card in the app, and we are also sending out the assets basically at that size. So if you did blow it up, they could get a little bit blurry. Very soon, though, we're going to be offering that full resolution PDF. So you'll be able to put this on any size piece that you'd like, as well as that QR code if you wanted to design your own artwork entirely. So right, you will not be constrained to that one size.
So basically, you can use the entire front and back image and blow it up to whatever you want, because it will have the higher res, or you can just use the QR code itself and make whatever cover or whatever, apply it to whatever postcard you want. Because when they scan it, it would then appear on their cell phone and show them the experience. Remember, you're limited even to a 6x9 postcard. You're really limited to content, and everybody on this call knows that you can only put so much information without losing the customer, right? So you want enough mystery about the card, and that's where Living Mail does a great job, is because we overlap the pictures if you choose that layout, or you can just choose one image, and you can make it so intriguing that they want to see what's inside of it, in essence, what's inside of that postcard. And that's why your creative juices hopefully come out, and you can show that. Maybe a pizza box that's closed and they want to see the content of it, so they scan the card to see the slideshow that would show them the content of the box. There's just so many different ways you can use this technology to get people more engaged. And you have up to 5 minutes. So we allow each Living Mail to include 5 minutes of content. So it can include 5 minutes of photos. Each photo, I believe, Brock, is 3 seconds as they do their transition. So you can see, 70 photos or whatever, or you can add photos and videos, all totaling 5 minutes of content. All of it's created through our Living Mail app. You don't need to go into other apps to create this beautiful content.
Okay, Thank you. And there's two other questions that I'm going to go ahead and read. I'll actually read them both and you guys can speak to them both. Is how and who mails the postcards? Actually, there's a couple different ones. So let's go ahead and answer that. And then there's two others that'll follow that. So how and who mails the postcards? And then how about, would you say this is for small jobs, hundreds, not thousands?
So the beauty here is you are definitely going to be, as the print shop, you're going to be the one printing and you're going to be the one mailing these cards. And then in terms of job size, that's going to be something that is totally up to your customer. It can scale all the way into the millions. This is built on a cloud infrastructure, so it shouldn't have any problems when multiple people are scanning it at the same time. The download bandwidth should handle just fine. So you shouldn't run into any issues with scale in terms of that. And just to go back and readdress who's printing it. So basically, once that order is placed, we're going to send you a digital copy via a PDF, just like you would get today once it's designed with the artwork. And then you can go ahead and just print that out of your own printer, just like you would, and go ahead and put that address information in the barcode, just like you would today, and drop it into the mail stream like any other postcard. Or with that improvement coming very soon, you can design your complete design however you like it today and just add in our QR code onto that piece wherever.
Right. So all of you today, you'll create your digital art one-off, right? You'll create the front and the back, and then you'll have all of your names and addresses in which you then will merge with that PDF document. So you're not doing anything different. We're giving you the camera-ready PDF art as if you created it using Corel Draw or PageMaker or whatever other program you use to create the art. We're creating the artwork for you, and we're giving that to you as a PDF document. Then you will use whatever software you use today to create the imposition. Like, so if you want to mail 10,000 pieces, or if you want to mail 30,000 or 1,000,000, it doesn't matter. You're still going, that process is still going to be the same. You're going to create your imposition and you're going to print it and mail it. So now instead of mailing out a static postcard, you're mailing a postcard that has our living mail technology exclusive through December to AccuZip customers. Your customers, when they receive it, when the customer receives it, will view it, and there's no cost to you or anything. So all of that bandwidth and the viewability, there's no charge, there's no licensing. You're just giving them a better experience.
Okay, great. And then let's see here, the last question so far is, do you have any samples of postcards that you can share with us? And yes, we absolutely do. In the handouts section of the webinar, there's 3 different samples, one for somebody advertising their Airbnb. So that would be a customer that actually did a photo shoot and a video of their own Airbnb, took the photos, and then they sent the pictures to, or the living mail to their print shop to have them do a mass mailing about that. Another one is for a pizza restaurant doing advertising, and then another is for real estate. So Brock's going to bring those up on his screen right now to show you, and then you should also be able to download them from the handout section as well. But that's exactly, and if you scan these, you will actually be able to see the slideshow that goes behind it, which circles back to the fact that these really are commercials on a postcard that are all shot from a mobile device for fractions of a cost of what it would cost to, you know, have a professional photographer or videographer go and create something like this.
Right, or even typesetting, typesetting it yourself. So think of this, you want to, you know, these living mail cards can be, you know, very mysterious. So for example, let's say someone was announcing whether it was a boy or a girl and they were pregnant. So you would have, you could send out postcards, you know, I'm just talking in a small scale, of a question mark, and she could be standing there, and then you send it out and they would have to scan it in order for them to see the slideshow of how they would want to reveal whether it's a boy or girl. Or it could be a wedding, or it could be, you know, it could be real estate where they would see maybe a photo of the outside of the house and then scan it to see the inside and a full walkthrough. And all of this can be done either by the real estate person, or you could charge them for your services to go out with them and shoot the home.
Okay. And let's see. Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it, Kristen.
So
Let's see
one question
here. Okay.
was, Mary,
Yeah, go ahead. You can ask.
Mary's asking, how are you making money on this? This is AccuZip. I'm assuming that she's asking how we at AccuZip are making money. Okay, good question. We're not making any money. Actually, it's costing us money. But what our benefit is that when customers view this, when it views, they will have the opportunity, if they want to download the app free. So this would be I guess at a high level, this would be giving exposure to the Living Mail app. Did that answer your question? So so I guess it would be like, I guess we put it in a customer acquisition cost, because, with marketing, as you all know, you market, you have dollars of marketing, and then you cross that over with your business, how much, you get in business, and then you have your, how much it costs you to get a user, I guess you could say. So basically our win is somebody who downloads the app. Your win is that you're getting the technology free, in order to give your customer a much better experience and allow you to market up to 5 minutes of content.
And kind of in speaking to that is because there's another question that kind of what happens in December. So right now we're also offering it basically just as a value add to our AccuZip customers. It's not costing you anything. It's exclusive to you. Of course, it's keeping you, we believe in print, we believe in mail. So it's keeping you printing, it's expanding your service offerings, keeping you guys, keeping our customers ahead of the game. Right now, up until December, we're only offering it to people who have current AccuZip accounts. December 1st, we're going to be opening it up to everybody. So that's why Brock in the beginning said, you're better to jump on board now. It's not going to cost you anything, and it's something that you get to do because you are an AccuZip customer. And then let's see here. Another question is, let me know too, Brock, if you want to stop with questions. We can always take these at the end because there are several coming in. But how about I lead with one last one, and then we'll continue on and we can answer the other question at the end. But can you only print pictures on the front of the card?
So within the actual app itself, as it stands today, you're going to be putting the pictures from your device on the front of the card, and you're going to be choosing one of those layouts we have available, some of which the photos take up a larger portion, others they take up a smaller portion, and then you're going to have that background for whatever area the pictures don't fill in. And the beauty is, in that improvement we're going to be making very soon with that QR code coming in, if you don't like the way it looks with the layouts we have available and the backgrounds and such, or you just like your designs better with the completely custom layouts and typesetting, you can go ahead and just add that QR code in and get that same effect of that dynamic card and have all of your same content and designs you do today that you may prefer.
Okay, let's maybe we should continue on with the the presentation, and then we'll definitely get to your questions. If we don't at the end, we still have plenty of time, and we're only 35 minutes in. But please do keep asking those questions, because this is exactly what we want, and this is exactly why we're doing the live webinar versus a recording. So this is fabulous.
Perfect. And yeah, I just wanted to go over this section here. So the people that onboarded very early on after that first webinar, we've heard their feedback, and we always like to take that feedback and then actually put it into action and improve our products and services to make them more user-friendly and just more fun and enjoyable to use in general. So we're going to be implementing a few changes here in the coming weeks and months to the process, just to make it a little more easy to use and easy to onboard on. So basically, each printer is going to be assigned a unique code. Your users are going to be able to add you as a print shop in their settings with your code instead of having to enter your address every time. And then they're going to be able to select the bulk option and choose from the printers they've added into their app. And then you're going to receive the order the next business day, and it's actually going to contain their email address, so you don't have to deal with them having to send you a screenshot and getting connected with them anymore. We're just, closing those gaps, making it a lot more seamless. So yeah, again, you don't have to rely on those screenshots of the orders anymore. No more issues with typos entering in the address, and even more of a reason to start offering the service because we continue to improve it over time.
Right, and one more thing, when you print the postcard, let's say you send it out to 10,000 customers for your customer. When they hold their phone up, their regular camera will automatically instantiate and allow them to download the app. But very shortly, I believe, Brock, if I'm not mistaken, by the end of this month or shortly thereafter, they will not have to download the app to view the experience. So basically what they'll do is when they use their camera on their mobile device and point it to the postcard, it will immediately start playing without downloading the app. At the end, then it will allow them to download the app for a better experience.
Exactly. Yeah, we're looking forward to that web player coming out hopefully sometime this month.
Right. So, you think we'd want to, this obviously we're not monetizing this because we're not charging any licensing fees for how many you're printing, how many people are viewing it, and all of that. But we will be coming out with statistics on how many people did view it and providing that information to you. But this app is, like Brock said initially, has been over 3 years in development and a little over $1 million to develop. It's very expensive, but like Brock said, it's a very, very intuitive, easy to use interface to do in essence what you would do on your desktop to create this type of an experience with just tapping on photos and videos and selecting backgrounds and music, and it creates camera ready art ready for you to apply addresses to, 1 million addresses, 10,000 or 100 for any occasion. And what you'll want to do is, because all of us are creative because we're in this space, try to create content like that first picture or the other pictures so that it's a little bit mysterious. So there's not all of it in, you know what I mean? So when you look at it, you want to scan it to reveal basically what's behind it. And everybody loves using their cell phone, and like Kristen or Brock showed you earlier, what 80+% want to see videos. So this is a beautifully put together slideshow with photos and videos that it will be priceless, I'm telling you. So hopefully you'll jump on it. And if you need any help, of course, we're here to help.
And speaking with the improvements, we do have a question, and actually it's ready today, and we were just brainstorming about this. So it's an excellent question from Michael. Is the QR code the only thing that really matters? We typically do a 6x11 and 9x12 postcards and pizza restaurant menus. Can we just put the QR code on the piece and get the video advantage? So short answer is yes, but I'll let Brock or Steve expand on that. But yes, absolutely, and you're right on target, Michael, where you're going to get that advantage of using the Living Mail technology, but you don't have to change any of your flow or your existing printed pieces.
Yeah, so exactly. As of today, we're going to be sending you over that completed PDF, which actually has that QR code on the back. So you could just pull it off using your PDF software today. And very soon, we're going to be implementing a change to make it even easier, where the QR code file is just directly in that download that you have, so that you can just apply it directly instead of having to manually pull it off the piece. But yeah, that QR code can make any of your current designs or sizes dynamic and turn them into that LivingPrint card.
Yeah, and for scalability, if you mailed out 1 million postcards, this is scaled across load balancers across the country. So people that are viewing it in New York are on their own, nearest load balancers versus people that are viewing it in California. So it's not coming from one server. I mean, it's all across the country. So we've already accounted for the scalability of it, and it's ready to go.
Definitely. And of course, if you need any help, as you know, support's always free and unlimited here at AccuZip. We pride ourselves on that. You can always email help@livingmail.com, or you can go to livingprint.com and visit the Contact Us page. And that's how you can reach out with questions. And
with that related, and we'll walk you through the entire process. So we can walk you through, if you pick one of your customers that you think wants to do this, they send you some photos and a video, or you go out, like Steve said, and you shoot the photos and video. We'll help with the whole onboarding process and walk your hand through the whole step of the way. No charge for that. Somebody did ask Brock if you can kind of have a refresher on how you go through the onboarding process. So can you refresh on how to sign up from the printer's side? That was a question from Edward.
Definitely, yeah. So you're going to go to onboarding.livingprint.com, and we go ahead and provide a link to that in the chat. And there's just going to be a form you need to fill in, And then as soon as you filled that in, we're going to go ahead and provide that flyer with all the instructions on how to use it. First step is to get onboarded with that though. So yeah, let me throw a link in the chat really quick for you.
And then Steve, maybe you can speak to this, suggested pricing to our customers. That's a question from Todd.
You know, there's no cost to you. So I see you providing, remember, you're probably charging for your typesetting today. You could either, since you're not doing any typesetting necessarily, you could charge for the shoot going out there. Repeat the question one more time, Kristen.
Suggested, it says suggested pricing to our customers. So exactly what you were answering.
Right. So if you were going to, I wouldn't charge any more. Well, you could. I mean, it's really up to you to have the living mail technology built into the card. You could charge, I don't have a recommended price as far as what you would want to charge for that technology. We're not charging you anything. So if you want to charge another penny a card, $10 a thousand, you know, whatever you can get away with or whatever the market will bear for this technology. But I think the point of it is you want your customers to get a better ROI. So I wouldn't necessarily charge them because your costs are no different. You're still printing a postcard, right? It just has our living mail technology on the back end. You're not, your costs are not going up. Actually, your costs, you could argue, are going down because you're not spending any time typesetting the piece. And like Brock said, you could take the QR code that we generate and then just put it on an existing postcard. But remember, now you're thinking, okay, on a postcard right now today, you have to tell the whole story. You have to talk about the discount. You have to say it's 50% off, right? You have to give everything away on the postcard today. But if you think about living mail, you want to leave some mystery about it. You want to give them enough to be interested, right? And TikTok, as you guys know, is very popular. YouTube is very popular, and most of those are shot with cell phones, right? So that raw footage of creating content with your cell phone and then using the Living Mail app to create the slideshow with photos and videos and background images and music is really a phenomenal way to go. So we're still at AccuZip promoting the mailbox. So you're still mailing these pieces. These physical pieces are still arriving in the mailbox. But when they open the mailbox, now they're going to experience that on their cell phone. The answers to the questions they may have when they look at this new postcard that you're sending out that has a little mystery. Maybe the postcard goes out with a gigantic question mark on it, right? Or maybe you have an image of somebody opening the door, just cracking the door, and they need to, in order to see what's behind that door, they need to use their cell phone in order to experience the mystery behind the door, right? So what you're trying to do is to get people more engaged, and Living Mail does it. And up through December, it's exclusive to only AccuZip customers.
And it's a differentiator for you too, and that's really what we've always tried to do at AccuZip. Steve's philosophy is every year, and we've been in business now for 30 years, is to come out with a new technology. So those of you, I know Mary has been with us for decades, when we came out with AccuTrace or Unlimited NCOA, you know, why not run all of your files through the National Change of Address, because we're offering an unlimited. So now, you know, you have a competitive advantage to the other print shops that are out there, or other people offering mailing and printing services. So this goes along with that same philosophy. Nobody else right now can offer this, no other print shops. So whether you charge a small fee or you do it for free, which I agree, as Steve suggested, you now have a customer that's embedded and used to this technology versus a static postcard that's going to hopefully be a customer for life. And you've got one more reason for them not to swap over to a competitor, that, you know, the print shop down the street.
Right. So if you wanted to take your postcard, imagine taking a postcard and making it a folded postcard. You know how they have the double postcard? Well, imagine you wanted to have infinite, well, not infinite, but 5 minutes worth of a fold, right? So you could have 100 folds or 50 folds, right? So the very first part of the postcard is the first fold. Now, in order to see the other marketing information, they would have to use their cell phone to lift the image off, and then the slideshow starts, and now you have your other pages of the postcard. So Living Mail today is new to you, but I'm like, we've predicted this. We've been doing this for 30 years, and we're normally ahead of the curve. Like on the unlimited access to NCOA and a lot of the things that we do, Living Mail will be a household name. It will be the new way to send postcards. And this is, I know it's new today, but really engaging your customer and this unique experience, I think is a great opportunity to get started right away, and we're here to help.
Definitely, and I just wanted to revisit this slide with Trish. We're working with Trish. She believes in this technology, and she actually created a video for us we're going to be releasing very soon that kind of details the process and goes over it from the customer's end and what your customers would have experienced throughout the process.
Yeah, and that video is great. If any of you guys have seen her fold of the week, Trish is fantastic. She knows the printing industry inside and out and loves this technology. So she goes in it from an end user's perspective. It's a great, I think, 3-minute video. So we're going to send that as a follow-up video to this webinar, which you will also get a recording of the webinar, which was another question. So we'll have both of those as well. I do want to make sure we do address this because this is the last question that came in is, so the app charges $199 for each job. Steve, if you want to go ahead and kind of maybe clarify that.
Yes, so when you create the card today, we charge $1.99 for you to mail that card to an individual or mail it to the print shop. But we're implementing, like Brock said earlier, a code that so we'll know that it's for a bulk living print. And so when you go to checkout, when you type in the code, we'll know it's for a bulk job. So when you go to our checkout page, the cost will be $0. It's almost like a coupon code in a way, but as of today, July 13th, if you were to create one, it would either cost, if you created it, it would cost you $1.99, or if your customer created it and sent it to you at checkout, they would pay $1.99. And then that would be mailed to you and you would print it. There's no licensing costs or anything to replicate it and all of that. But we are coming out of development now on this code that Brock mentioned earlier that will be tied to you as a print service provider. So that 6 alpha code, when they use that, it will tie directly to your address. So that eliminates all the typos of customers typing in an address that doesn't match to our back end to your print service provider. So you'll provide the code instead of an address. That's like your AccuZip code. And then at checkout, the cost will be $0. So it won't ask them to pay $1.99.
Exactly. Yeah, that improvement should take that cost out of the equation. But yeah, as of today, it's just that $1.99 to get that card sent out. And I just wanted to go over a quick recap of the whole topic here. So basically, this is a way for you to convert your static postcards into Living Mail postcards and get that dynamic content going. You can offer this we're giving you this unique opportunity because it's exclusive to the AccuZip customer partners as of today. Capture that new business as well as recapturing other customers that may want to come back to you since you're offering this technology. And then there are no licensing or replication fees as of today to jump on board, start offering this process to your customers. And your customers can create the experience for only $1.99. So it's a very low cost compared to what it would cost to hire a typesetter, something along those lines. And again, that cost should be going away very soon once we release those updates. And you're going to receive that print-ready artwork to merge into your list, or if you wanted to send out an EDDM. And this is another opportunity to basically pick up the phone, get in touch with the customers you know best. Your best customers have been working with you for years, and just say, hey, I know you're sending postcards out today. Let's get you on board with this new technology. Have an opportunity to increase your ROI and really just show customers you're staying ahead of the game. And you can potentially generate more revenue by offering this service as an upcharge.
Right now, for the $1.99 today, if you were to do it and pay $1.99, just shoot us an email to Living Mail, the email address he showed you, I think at Help at Living Mail.
Yeah, help@livingmail.com.
Yeah, we will reverse the $1.99 charge since we know it's a bulk. Until we get the coupon or the code in there, we can reverse the $1.99 charge. If you want to be reimbursed for that bulk, no problem. We don't have a problem with that. What this offering is we really, I think it's an intriguing, unique opportunity for everybody that's on the call today. And please ask questions. It is really simple to get started.
And like Kristen mentioned earlier, If you do need help or you're confused any step of the way, send an email over to help@livingmail.com. We can schedule a meeting, a time to go over it together, and we can connect on a Google Meet or something along those lines, and then walk you through the process and make sure you understand it all and see the entire process all the way through.
So what I would recommend doing is taking your top customer, your best customer, the customer you have the best relationship with, and starting with them, right? So you know them, they're probably like a friend to you. Hey, let me come in with my phone or take some photos and videos off of your phone, and let's create the Living Mail experience together and mail out the postcard. Or just use the QR code on an existing static postcard that you've done in the past, right? So if you can start with that and do one, and again, the whole idea with the Living Mail is you want to add a little bit of mystery into the front of the card. You want to get them to scan the code in order to experience what's behind it. So I would take your best customer, start with that, and then track how the responses are, and you'll be set.
Okay, so now we did our final poll, so thank you. So we have, are you ready to make the switch from static postcards to Living Mail? So 25% of you say yes, which is excellent. 0 say no, which is even better. And 75% of you say maybe, I still have more questions, which we would expect. I mean, if you've just learned about this, you've had 54 minutes to learn about something that you've never heard of and are hopefully wrapping your head around, because it's a lot. Like Brock said, it's taken years to develop. And so we've put a lot into it too. So I would encourage you, and then I'd like Brock and Steve to speak to this as well. We want to answer your questions. We need to know what those questions are. Brock has the ability to set up one-on-one appointments with anybody who has questions. So we'll be reaching out to all of you. Will receive a follow-up email after this webinar. Brock had the, and you can put that up at the end, I'll hide this again, that last slide of where to send questions to. So please, at the end of this webinar, don't just, think, oh, okay, that was cool technology. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. If you answered, if you were one of those 25% that said yes, fill out the onboarding form. That is the first thing to do. If you're one of the people that said maybe you still have questions, send us those questions. Send us those questions, give us a call, send an email, pop into our chat. Do it while it's fresh on your mind too, because it's exciting. And once you use it, and I think once you've done 1 or 2 jobs, it will be seamless. So I'll turn that over to Brock and Steve if they have some questions on, or have some comments, I guess, on that.
Oh, by the way, the onboarding is free. So just because you onboard you're not committing to anything. You're onboarding, even the maybes should onboard.
Exactly. And I would also recommend, just because seeing something and not actually being able to, touch it and use it yourself, a lot of people learn hands-on. So I'd recommend going to the App Store, go ahead and download the LivingPrint app, go through, send a card yourself, send it to a friend or a family member or anything like that. And if you want to be reimbursed for that, just learning how to use the app, just go ahead and send that email over to help@livingmail.com with the email address associated with that purchase.
Yeah,
that'll give you just a nice way to learn how to use the app and see it firsthand.
That's a great idea. So take some of your existing or recent photos and videos, create yourself one and send it to your mom or dad or children of maybe your 4th of July experience and stuff. And when they receive it, I'm telling you, the experience is amazing. It really is.
Okay, awesome. All right, the last question wasn't even a question. It was, this sounds cool. I'll contact you to follow up. So that's great. So thank you all very much. We're just under the hour and everybody was very engaged. Really, really appreciate it. There will be a recording, as I had mentioned, that will go out. If you want any of those samples, grab them off the webinar or we can email them to you. We're here to help you. And thank you, Brock and Steve. Excellent job as usual. So with that said, unless Steve and Brock, if you want to have some closing comments, and then I'll go ahead and end the webinar and everyone can get back to their day. But thank you again so much for attending and taking the time.
As you guys know, I started the company back in 1992. It's 30 years this year, 30 years. I can't believe it. But some of the things that we do, like our price lock guarantee, and there's not one company, I don't think in any industry, that will lock their price and never raise it. There's things that we do at AccuZip that are quite unique, and this is one of them. And I would please, don't miss this opportunity to be exclusive for at least several more months.
Definitely,
and
yeah. And
thank you all.
I would just check out the app for sure. It's a good experience. We've worked really hard on it. Let us know if you have any questions, any feedback. Go through that experience. I think you'll understand it a lot more and build a lot more confidence by just experiencing the app yourself.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your day and rest of your week, and we will be in touch. Bye-bye.